welcome to what is your first live event of your daughter's time in the senior school. Of all the parents in the senior school, you are the group that I know the least because I physically haven't seen you in school for the past 12 months. And I'm really hoping that over the course of this academic year, you will be able to attend all of the events that we have ready and prepared for the girls and for you as parents. But I just want to talk to you just for a couple of moments about COVID and then a few other things before I hand over to the head of year. This is actually our second event this evening. The first event was a Year 12 welcome evening, and we had to move that online this afternoon because we have a number of girls in Year 12 who have tested positive for COVID. And that's on the back of Reading Festival and various other things that the Year 12s have been attending. But I think it does highlight the importance of the lateral flow testing that the girls need to do twice a week. It's really important for the whole community that we find those positive cases as soon as they become relevant and that they isolate for the 10-day period. So please can I encourage you to make sure that your daughter continues to do the lateral flow testing twice a week. Many of the Year 12s who tested positive today were doing the test ready to come back to school tomorrow, completely asymptomatic, but have tested positive. The good news is, if your daughter is part of what used to be a bubble, they no longer have to isolate. The only people isolating are those that have tested positive. Everybody else can come into school as normal. But can I just encourage you to make sure that you do continue to lateral flow test going forwards. We have everything in place for the start of the academic year with regards to all the measures that are needed to ensure the girls' safety. So we have the hand sanitizer, we've got ventilation in the classrooms, we're making sure that we're reminding the girls to wash their hands and do everything we possibly can. And you will know, possibly if you've looked at the website, that we've put the revised risk assessment on the website, which also shows what we have to do if we have a number of positive cases in the school. But we are very much hoping for a normal year in school. All the co-curricular activities will start. The co-curricular fair is next week, which will be your daughter's first experience of a full co-curricular fair. They'll be able to access all of those things that they couldn't access last year, and I'm delighted that the Year 8s are also going on a residential trip later this term, which they clearly missed out on last year. So we will continue to provide as many opportunities as we can and backfill some of those opportunities that the girls missed when they were in Year 7. That said, what a gorgeous year group they were in Year 7. They absolutely embraced everything that we did offer them and everything that we could offer them. They very quickly moved to online learning, even though they'd only had their iPads a matter of weeks. So they absolutely need to be congratulated as a year group for that very quick move into A, a new school, and B, a new type of learning. And that's a credit to them and a credit to you. So thank you very much for all the support that you did give them last year and that you will do going forward. I'm delighted to share with you, and you might have seen earlier today the newsletter I sent around the phenomenal GCSE and A-level results that the school achieved this year. At A-level, we had 89% of all our grades were A-star A, and 90% of the girls moved on to Russell Group universities, and the other 10% went on to some of the best drama and art colleges in the country. We had absolutely phenomenal A-level results, and every girl got their first choice university. So they worked exceptionally hard throughout the year, and it's a credit to them and to the teaching staff in the school. At GCSE, we had almost 60% of our grades were at level 9, and 98% were 9 to 7. So again, a phenomenal set of GCSE results, which means those doors of opportunities for the girls in Year 11 going into 12 are wide open for what they want to do next. And we have around 80% of the girls coming back into Year 12 tomorrow, as long as they don't have COVID. They're coming back in tomorrow. So we're absolutely delighted with our excellent A-level results. One of the things that we pride ourselves on, and that I hope you did notice last year, is the balance that we do have between the academic side of the school and the pastoral side of the school. And that's something that we will continue to strengthen throughout this academic year by expanding our pastoral team, having additional assistant heads of year, having additional school counsellors and nurses. And that mental well-being of the girls is something that we absolutely keep front and centre of everything that we do. But sitting alongside that, we also need to recognise it's not just about the academic rigour, the pastoral care, the co-curricular, but it's also about preparing girls for the 21st century. And over the summer I was in the fortunate position to be able to talk to a number of recruitment consultants who are recruiting graduates from university into top jobs in the city. And what they were saying is one of the things that they're looking for is that real grit and resilience in the people that they are employing, not necessarily a string of A stars and A's or a first class degree, but young people who can show that they've got perseverance and determination and stickability. And that's something that we are working with our girls throughout our curriculum offer and co-curriculum offer. So that sits alongside everything that we do. As a teaching staff, over the last couple of days, we've had inset and we've recognised that things have changed quite substantially over the past 18 months. And we wanted to look at what we value as a staff in the school. And we're actually going to be doing exactly the same thing with the girls over the course of the next couple of days. So what do they value, and what do they value within Surbiton High School? And some of the things that have come out from the staff are things like we value integrity and honesty and respect. And we're hoping that when we do the same exercise with the girls over the course of the next few days, that some of those key words will come out from the girls as well. But we also recognise that they are a completely different generation. So it'll be interesting to see what they have to say compared to what we have to say. But I suppose front and centre of that is respect. And the respect that we have for our pupils and that they have for their teachers, the respect that we have for our parent body and that you have for the teachers in the school. And fundamental to that is the communication that we have between our parent body and the teaching staff and the girls. And it's very much a triangulated approach. And we pride ourselves on that communication. So to that end, I'm delighted to say we very much have an open door policy this year. So if you have any concerns, then we have a tutor first approach, then the head of year and the subject teachers, then the SRT and myself. So please do get in touch if there is anything you need to know or any concerns that you have. And equally, we will always be in touch with you if we have things to celebrate that your daughter has achieved in school. I really, really look forward to seeing you at many of the events that we will have over the course of the next 12 months. And I'm now going to hand over to the head of year who's going to talk to you a little bit more about Year 8.
I'm delighted to welcome you all here this evening in person, and I hope this evening gives you an insight into the details and demands and the joys that Year 8 has at Surbiton High. I'm Liz Rickards, and I'm thrilled to be your daughter's acting head of year, supported by the wonderful assistant heads of year, Miss Russ and Miss McNabb. We will start the year under the watchful eye of Mrs Christophers, who will remain part of the head of year team until she heads off on maternity in October. It has been lovely to see the school buzzing with pupils since we've kind of been back in since Tuesday. We've had nearly 500 pupils take part in various activities, including sports and Duke of Edinburgh, to name a few. I joined Surbiton High School 8 years ago as a PE teacher, and I soon realised the joy that being part of an outstanding pastoral team at Surbiton ought to make. I've been a tutor, assistant head of year for 3 years, and I've also covered a head of year role. Therefore, I have had the experience in all aspects of the pastoral support your daughter will experience. I understand the changing needs of the pupils and the need to respond with compassion, empathy and understanding, keeping the best interests of your daughter and all pupils at Surbiton at the heart of our decisions. During my time at Surbiton, I have been heavily involved in many different aspects of school life to ensure that the pupils can experience a range of opportunities. I can therefore ensure your daughter will be encouraged to be encouraged to fully embrace the life that Surbiton has to offer. Behind is an overview of what we'll be covering this evening. The information that's being shown will be sent out, so don't feel that you have to frantically write anything down. What to expect from Year 8. As your daughter starts to enter the beginning of her teenage years, you might notice some or all of the following changes. There will be friendship shifts, some for better and maybe some for worse. There will be a greater want for independence, both in and outside of school. They might become over or underconfident at certain times, and this could fluctuate. They'll have an increase in self-image awareness as their bodies continue to change through puberty and the influence that the media has, and sometimes around their peers. You'll probably see, or probably already have, an increase in screen time, and we of course recommend that phones and iPads stay out of their bedrooms at night, for example. There will be social media fads, and I think this one speaks for itself. Last year, your daughter endured one of the strangest times in their educational career, starting a new school in the middle of a pandemic. As a community, we have seen firsthand the impacts that this has on the pupils. However, it's now time to reset, put last year behind them, and prepare to fully embrace the true colours that Surbiton High School has to offer. With the form classes split for teaching and pupils not having to sit in strict seating plans, there will be ample opportunities for them to interact with their wider year group. In addition, your daughter will be able to become fully submerged in all of the extensive co-curricular activities and whole school events such as the plethora of house competitions, in addition to many school trips. I am particularly excited about the year group trip to the Frontier Centre, as I'm sure your daughter is too. I'll speak a little bit more about this later on. There will be new friendships that will flourish and others might dwindle. Lifelong memories will be made, and for some, challenges will be faced. This leads me on to talk about resilience. I believe we are here to guide your daughter to work through a problem and not simply take the problem away from her. By guiding your daughter to solve the problem together, we will be providing them with a toolkit that can be opened and used for life's ups and downs. If we take the seemingly easier option of taking the problem away or to solve the problem for your daughter, a key learning opportunity will be missed in helping you to build resilience. I truly value the importance of resilience and the impact this can have on anyone's character. Helping your daughter to develop resilience can tap into their strengths and support systems to overcome challenges and work through any problem life might throw at them. We know that resilience creates happier, less stressed children wherever they are. I am a firm believer that to develop and nurture resilience in your daughter, the team and I will guide them to appreciate the small things in life, take a step back and focus on what they have got and not what they haven't. We will develop a routine of healthy self-care using the Surbiton Healthy Mind Toolkit, and by helping them to become organised and manage their time effectively. It is also vital that we further explore, I held my finger down for too long. That we further explore the importance of developing independence in your daughter. Alongside her peers, teachers and tutors, now is the time to encourage your daughter to take responsibility for her own learning in and outside of the classroom. We know that mistakes will be made, but the school is the best place to make them. From forgetting her iPad, misconduct on social media, or even just forgetting a piece of pea hit up at the sports ground, we're here to guide and help your daughter to reflect and learn from it. Remaining positive in the face of adversity, whatever the obstacle might be, is a key value we hold as a school. Our learning habit wheel shows pupils learning to overcome obstacles, resolve them, and a positive attitude and approach, whether in or out of the classroom, will help them to develop this resilience. We believe that your daughters are capable of being kind and caring to another, and of being ambitious and curious learners, and treating others with respect and tolerance. We want to help them to see obstacles as a positive opportunity to grow and to learn from them. Most importantly, we will help them to accept each and every one of them is unique, and what they offer to the community is really special. We are not here to create a flock of Surbiton sheep, but to guide and nurture your daughter to be an individual and embrace and love everything about being different from the person next to them. The teenage years can be tricky, and your daughter will certainly face some bumps along the way, but these bumps can provide opportunities for growth and discovery. This is where we must work together and ensure transparency between home and school life, It is up to us to work collaboratively to guide them. Keeping the channels of communication open with us and each other is key in helping your daughters grow into a flourishing, independent, all-round young lady. My wish this year is that your daughter will be happy, healthy and prepared for the years ahead of them. Please rest assured that the team and I have your daughter's best interests at heart in helping them feel safe and supported throughout the year. We will help them to foster a positive curiosity to life and learning, a growing sense of self-worth and an ability to tackle new challenges with vigour. We want the same as you do for your daughters and will work together to give them the greatest chance of happiness and pride in whatever achievements they succeed in. We have a wonderful, dedicated tutor team who share the similar goals. Here are the Year 8 tutor team, and they work so hard behind the scenes. I will let them introduce them to you.
Hello, I'm Ms Rachel Downey. I teach psychology. I'm the form tutor for 8A.
Hello, I'm Ruth McNabb. I am form tutor for 8C and I teach French and German. My deputy this year will be Joseph Pinson.
Good evening, I'm Miss Hannah Russ. I teach biology and chemistry, and this year I'm form teacher for 8F. My deputy form tutor will be Mrs. Rachel Lucas.
Hello, I'm Mr. Joe Humphreys. I'm school librarian. I will be form tutor to 8N, and my deputy tutor will be Miss Emma Gordon.
Good evening, I'm Annabelle Phoenix and I'm a tutor to AP. My deputy is Rachel Pincio.
Hello, I'm Sue Guinness. I teach classics and I'm form tutor for 8R, and my deputy tutor is Carol Jordan.
Hello, I'm Evie Evans. I'm a teacher of drama and dance and I will be form tutor to 8T. My deputy will be Mrs Rachel Gore.
An aspect that will be the same as last year is the time spent with their tutor. Your daughter will spend every morning registration with their tutor or deputy tutor, as well as receiving one PSHE lesson a week. In addition to a variety of different morning activities, our tutors will have one-on-one mentoring sessions with every member of the class. They may chat about lessons, clubs, friends, and the general day-to-day life of their time at Surbiton. I strongly believe in the value of these one-to-ones in helping tutors support your daughter in the best way possible. These one-on-ones are not interrogations, interviews or tick boxes, but a supportive way of giving your daughter a platform to be heard. The tutors are of course also happy to chat outside of this time. The dedicated time is ring-fenced each week and should really benefit your daughter in making the most of her time here and helping her to feel listened, cared for and valued as part of the community. This underpins the Charter for Wellbeing at Surbiton, Nourish to Flourish, that sets out that every pupil is an individual and there is no one-size-fits-all education. Pupils are encouraged to be accountable for their actions in an environment where the tutors are able to provide a supportive and guiding hand to help them solve any problem. So, the PSHE overview. This will be led by Ms. Russ and Ms. McNabb, who will work closely with the head of PSHE, Mrs. Sunder, to develop an up-to-date, engaging and informative curriculum tailored to Year 8. Your daughter will receive one lesson a week, which will take place on a Monday morning. Throughout these sessions, which are led by the tutors, and hopefully, all going well, will allow for external speakers and trips to deliver some of the more interesting topics. I strongly believe that we should be giving our pupils the knowledge they need to make the right decisions in an environment where they can safely discuss their opinions or have their questions answered with topics that may be otherwise found out in less accurate channels. PSHE integrates the language of learning habits as well. This creates and helps to create dynamic learners who are able to apply these skills later in life. Your daughter will be familiar with this and will understand the value that it adds to their learning by becoming self-regulated learners. So, Behind me, there are some key dates. Again, these will be sent out, so don't feel you've got to write them all down, take a photo. And I will email the slides out on Friday. I'll just give you, I hope it's big enough, you can have a little look about what's going on instead of me just reading it out. The most regular communication from the school will be on Friday through the MIS letters. MIS can be used for your daughter's timetables and reports, and there is also the school website, Twitter and Instagram to inform you of any updates or new articles. Your first port of call for anything concerning your daughter, as already mentioned, will be your daughter's tutor. On the slide behind is just a reminder of what to do when your daughter requires any period of time of absence at school, or if they're ill on the morning, which is the best email to use. Any updates regarding anything to do with COVID will be communicated via the MIS letter system. The Frontier Centre. So as most of you are already aware, Year 8s are off to the Frontier Centre in November due to missing out on this trip last year. The Frontier Centre itself is situated in 120 acres of countryside with some lovely lakes just on the perimeters. During the activities, the pupils will be in their own forms but also mixed from girls in other forms to broaden their friendships. Pupils will be divided into groups of 16 and will be supervised by 2 trained members at the Activity Centre and also a Surbiton High member of staff. Pupils will be challenged to a variety of different activities, including climbing walls, raft building, canoeing, archery, initiative games and the King's Swing. In the evenings, pupils will be entertained by their own version of Surbiton's Got Talent, and they will enjoy a little downtime watching films and drinking hot chocolates with their new friends. The pupils will be in small lodges overnight, and as far as we can organise it, share a room with a pupil in their form or whom they are friendly with. The rooms are a mixture of 2, 3 and 4 bedded rooms. The cost of the trip is expected to be £130 and will be added to the school bill. Thank you to all who have completed the online reply already, and we'll be in touch with those who haven't shortly. I'd like to take a moment to remind you of the uniform expectations. We'll be grateful for your support in ensuring your daughter looks smart and is setting expectations for herself and the others around her. Their hair is to be tied back and of a natural colour. They must only have 1 ear piercing and no hoops. They should have their fob at all times. If they're wearing socks, it should be ankle socks, not sports socks. If they're wearing blazers, please no ladders in the tights. They should wear their blazer at all times. And with school shoes, you should have received a letter over the summer regarding footwear. As the letter states, shoes should be all black, neither ballet pumps, trainers, nor patents leather. There is a link in the letter to a PDF document that shows the recommended shoes. This year with PE and changing, we'll be going back to the girls getting changed at school for their PE lessons, as it was pre-COVID. If your daughter has a single PE lesson in their period 1 or 2, they are able to come into school in their PE kit, but they will bring their uniform in with them to get changed into afterwards. If your daughter has a single lesson after period 2, they're to come in their school uniform and will get changed before and after their PE lesson. During the games afternoon, they will get changed at the beginning and at the end. Any further arrangements, such as permission to walk home from the sports grounds or after-school club arrangements, will be communicated by Ms Potte via the MIS letters on Friday. Mobile phones. Pupils are not to be on their mobile phones without permission during the school day. They should be turned off to avoid distraction and either put away in a locked locker or in their bag. We will confiscate their phones if we see them, and pupils will come to our head of year office at the end of the day to collect. If your daughter needs to use her phone during the day in an emergency, or if they need to inform you of a new pick-up time, for example, they are welcome to come to the head of year office and use their mobile and make the necessary contact home. We do ask that you reiterate this message, and if you need to contact your daughter during the day, Please do contact the school via email or telephone and we'll then endeavour to pass on the information. Please encourage your daughter to seek the help of a member of staff rather than sending a panicked message home. We can help solve any scenario much better and more effectively if they come to us first and hopefully prevent any untoward panic. Pupils must not leave school without permission. If they feel unwell, they must go to the welfare centre, where they will be looked after and you will be contacted if your daughter is deemed too unwell to be in school. If your daughter has permission to leave for an appointment, she must obtain a green slip from her tutor and head to main reception to sign out. Such protocols are in place to protect and for the safety of your daughter. Homework. As with last year, students will be given 1 week to complete homework. Due to the split in classes, there cannot be a set timetable for Year 8. Homework will be set on the day of the lesson and pupils will be allowed 1 full week for the homework to be completed. Exceptions to this is art, drama, DT, history, PRS and music who set homework less frequently. Maths is again an exception as 2 smaller homeworks will be set during the week but they will have a minimum of 2 nights to complete this. Do not panic if your daughter has 5 subjects set in one day. It is then likely they will only have 1 or 2 set on another day. And as they have a week to complete, they'll be able to manage their time effectively. You will be able to track your daughter's homework through the One Satchel app, such as last year. As has already been mentioned, alongside the curricular learning, there are all the co-curricular clubs and societies for your daughter to try out. We hope that we can start this year as we mean to go on and the full array of co-curricular activities will be back on offer for your daughter to enjoy this year. The final list is being compiled and will be communicated to you via the Friday letters. Your daughter will be able to explore all the different activities by attending the co-curricular fair, which will take place on Monday the 6th and 7th of September at lunchtime in the main hall. There will also be a digital copy of the co-curricular booklet available to the pupils on their iPads. The tutors will also be to hand to encourage your daughters to embrace 1 or 2 of their interests and join one of the co-curricular clubs. And finally, I feel so lucky to be joining your daughters for such an exciting year, and I look forward to each one of them growing and settling further into Surbiton life. I have no doubt they will feel a great sense of pride at the end of the year of how they have grown as young people. I hope you can join us downstairs and the Year 8 team for a light refreshment, and if you have any further questions, please do use this time to come and chat to us.